Alright, hey, let's get this over with. Let's do this as fast as we can, because I don't know if I can do this in the appropriate amount of time, so let's do this. Alright, first, actor in a leading role. I'm gonna go with Mickey Rourke. I saw The Wrestler, and I think it's unfair to say, oh, he's so good because it so resembles his life. I think that's a bunch of crap. It shouldn't make any difference how much of his real life this movie resembles, but I think he still did a really good job. Personally, I thought Sean Penn was just a little too super gay acting in it. If Sean Penn actually wins, mark my words, he's gonna say something to the effect in his acceptance speech, "This award belongs to my good friend Mickey Rourke." Watch it happen. It'll happen. Best supporting actor, I'm gonna go with Heath Ledger, obviously. It's a lock. I heard it's like the odds are 1 to 20 in his favor as far as betting goes, which means, I don't know if you say it 1 to 20 or 20 to 1, but apparently you have to bet $20 to win $1 if you want to bet on Heath Ledger. So it's a pretty wuss bet. I think it's pretty safe to say he's got it. Well, I'm really, really sad that he died because a lot of people might think he won it for kind of a sympathy vote. But it's unfortunate because he really deserves it, legitimately, without his death. So, actress in a leading role. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Melissa Leo in Frozen River, just because I know that movie is really intense. And I haven't seen it, but it just seems like a Tracy Chapman song. And it's got to have some good chick acting in it. Supporting actress, Penelope Cruz in Vicky Cristina Barcelona. I did see it, and she was nuts. She was all over the place, just totally, just a treat to watch. And she was just crazy and really good. Animated feature, it's WALL-E. WALL-E should have been nominated for Best Picture. Last time a cartoon was nominated for Best Picture, I think it was Beauty and the Beast. And WALL-E was way better than Beauty and the Beast. Best art direction. I'm going Revolutionary Road because I've already marked it off. And I think the Academy really loves the 50s or 60s or that era. And when they really go way far out with the kind of art direction from that time. Maybe I'm thinking costumes. I think I nominated it for costumes too. I don't know. Cinematography. We're going Slumdog with this one. It was sweeping over an entire country, not just the city of Chicago, because it was between Slumdog and Dark Knight. So, costume design, yeah, that's where I'm going Revolutionary Road. Maybe I'm wrong with the art direction, but Revolutionary Road, costume design. Okay, directing. Okay, this is kind of crappy because the nominees for Best Director and Best Picture are exactly the same, and I think that's really cheap. It's pretty much the same award twice. So for that reason, it's got to go to Danny Boyle for Slumdog Millionaire. I don't think he's been nominated for anything. I've seen a few of his other movies. Sunshine is great. I like 28 Days Later a lot. I thought it was very well done. Trainspotting is awesome. And, he deserves it. Maybe Fincher deserves it down the road, but I think Danny Boyle needs it right now. Documentary feature. The only one I actually saw was Man on Wire. And it was riveting. It was really good. Documentary short. The Final Inch. Yeah, I have to base it strictly on title, and I imagine something called The Final Inch is really intense because they make a big deal out of something incredibly small. Film editing. I think a lot of people would want Slumdog on this one or Frost Nixon, but I'm going to go with Milk because so much of the story is told in a kind of different way. And I think the editing has a lot to do with that. They mix in a lot of newsreel footage, and there are a lot of different ways that they tell the story, and they combine all of those different ways pretty well. It seems like all that newsreel footage and that archive footage is part of the story that it's telling, and there's no break. There's no break in the storytelling, and I think that's accomplished very well through the editing of Milk, and so Milk's got to win. Foreign language film. Okay, it's between Waltz with Bashir and The Class. I know Joe voted for The Class, so I'm gonna gamble a little bit and go Waltz. Nah, it's The Class. The Class has gotta win. Waltz with Bashir looked cooler, but I think The Class has more of the sensibilities of the Academy. Makeup, I don't know if the Brad Pitt makeup in Curious Case of Benjamin Button, if that totally counts because it's so computer generated. Same with Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight. So I'm going to go Hellboy 2 because, who was it, Del Toro, he really created a big fantasy world that's mostly through creatures and not through scenic visuals, but weird creatures. That's makeup. Plus it wasn't nominated for anything else. Maybe that's a bad strategy. Original score. I didn't see it, but a crappy movie like The Curious Case of Benjamin Button probably has a really Academy-like score. Original song. Okay, we got 2 Slumdog songs and 1 Wall-E song. So I'm gonna guess that the Slumdog songs, Hi-Yo and Osea, people get those mixed up and they'll just vote for the Wall-E song. So we're going Wall-E, Down to Earth. Oh, what's with the order of these? Next we have Best Picture. Huh. Well, like I said, Slumdog. Short film animated. I'm gonna go with Presto because I think it played in front of Wall-E. Short film live action. New Boy. Yeah. Okay, sound editing. There's a difference between sound editing and sound mixing. Sound editing is specific sound effects, and sound mixing is the sounds together, like the score and the dialogue and the sound effects and the ambient sounds and everything all together. So, sound editing, Wall-E, because that guy did all the sound effects and, you know, he's like really famous. He did R2-D2 and stuff. Sound mixing, Dark Knight. A lot of stuff going on, mixed all together. Visual effects, Curious Case of Benjamin Button. That whole movie is one big long visual effect, right? Screenplay adapted. This is bad strategy, but I'm going with Doubt because it's the only one of the candidates, Benjamin Button, Frost Nixon, The Reader, and Slumdog Millionaire, that aren't also nominated for Best Picture. So Doubt must have something with the screenplay if that's where it like breaks in. Play and screenplay original. I almost voted for In Bruges. I think a lot of the storytelling in Milk was achieved, you know, from the basic point of the screenplay and it kind of spread out. So I think they're connected. I'm gonna go screenplay, Milk. Those are my Oscar picks, and we have them on record. The clock shows what time it is right now. I didn't pick these after the Oscars or during, so you can't complain when I'm right.